All right, let's get into some NFL chat from Week 11, mainly focusing on the NFC East because it's about to get oh so good with these races. Starting at the top with the Dallas Cowboys going into Minnesota and just demolishing them 40-3. I don't think too many people would have thought that score was going to happen, especially Minnesota coming off a huge win in overtime in Buffalo the week before. But holy smokes. So, was this more about the Cowboys win or the Vikings loss? I'm going to say it's more about the Cowboys winning this game because we've seen what they were able to do with Dak out of the lineup. Cooper Rush, great job. Dak was back. They won a couple games or won a game, whatever it was. And now this was kind of the first big test against Minnesota. And Dallas had all cylinders firing in this one. Wideouts, the line, the run game. You now have a double threat in the backfield. I think you've always pretty much had that threat. They just hadn't given Tony Pollard the opportunity. But now it looks like Tony Pollard, Zeke getting it going together. Zeke more used down near the goal line kind of thing. This looks like a well-oiled machine in Dallas. With Minnesota, I don't think they need to be too worried about this. Coming in off a big win against Buffalo, and then maybe they weren't prepared for something like this, weren't prepared for the Cowboys. But I want to look at both of these teams' next games. The Vikings' next 3 games, there's the Thursday game here for Thanksgiving against New England. I think they could win that one. They're at home. Then they're at home against the Jets, who are struggling to score some points. We'll hit on that in a second. And then the Vikings are going to Detroit. And I expect the Vikings to win all those games. And they should. So I'm not really concerned about where the Vikings are right now. I don't think they're going to be caught by anybody in their division. I don't think they're going to lose 3-4 games in a row. I don't think they'll lose 2 games in a row for a little bit. We'll see about that. And then we have the Cowboys' next 3 games. They've got the Giants on Thursday. Giants are another team who are struggling. I think if you take away that run game on the Giants, they don't really have too much, as we saw with Detroit. You force Danny Dimes to throw the ball, and it's kind of like a flip and a coin. It's not too great. And then Dallas has Indy and Houston. All these games are at home. I think Dallas is a huge threat to catch the Eagles in that division, and it's just going to be really fun to watch. On the other side here, we have the Washington Commanders. They win again with Taylor Heineke behind center, and he will continue to start there. I think Wentz has now been okay to go practice and whatever. It doesn't matter. Heineke is your guy. So, could the Commanders make the playoffs? This is a scenario here where all 4 teams in this division very well could make the playoffs. That would be wild to see, considering of how bad this division has been in past years, but we're talking about the now, and they're all looking pretty darn good. So let's look at the Commanders' next 4 weeks, because that 3rd week coming up is a bye. So they have Atlanta at home this week. Atlanta's kind of chugging a little bit. Really weird to see, but Atlanta could win their division with the way Tampa's been playing. It could be up for grabs. So that's a big game. And then the Giants come in. And the Giants are going to be going through a divisional gauntlet here, if you will, against these teams, in-division teams. So the Giants come in, then the Commanders have a bye, and then the Giants travel to Washington to play them. So in the next 3-4 weeks here, the Giants could be right out of the playoff picture if they're not careful. I kind of like what Washington's doing. I'm buying Washington stock right now, and I'm selling the heck out of the Giants. Philadelphia Eagles, I called it an outlasting game against the Colts. It wasn't the prettiest, but they got the job done. It might take a while for certain coaches around the NFL to get used to what Jeff Saturday is as a coach in Indy. Maybe to figure out his strategy, his scheming. But Philadelphia hangs on. I thought they'd come out a bit more hungry considering they lost the week before, but they get the job done. So here we go. Are you buying or selling Eagles stock right now? I think I'm still going to be buying it. I'm going to be buying it for at least the next 4 or 5 weeks. I looked at their ranks pretty quickly, and I'm kind of shocked by it because I haven't been blown away by them per se, but these rankings show in overall yards a game, they're 6th. In passing yards, they're 12th. With the weapons they have, I thought that would have been a bit more, but their run game is 6th. And that's a lot to do with Jalen Hurts and his rushing ability, because their running backs and Sanders, totally blanking on the other guy. Walker, is it? Or is that the Seattle dude? Anyways, but that running game isn't really there for the Eagles, and I don't think that's going to change. I think the way they kind of go around Hurts is just going to continue to do that. On the defensive side, they're very impressive in the overall yards against per game. They're 4th. In passing, they're 2nd. And then rushing, they're 19th. So when you look at their next opponents in Green Bay, Tennessee, and then they go to the Giants, not really worried about the Green Bay game rushing-wise. Tennessee could be a problem, being the 19th ranked rushing defense. And Tennessee going in there with Henry, that's going to be a heck of a game to watch. And then again with the Giants. So I think the only thing the Giants can really hope for here is that that running game continues. Could the Eagles find a way to shut down that running game of the Giants? We will see. But for now, I'm definitely buying Philadelphia Eagles stock. Fun little wrap up there. Groomer's take on the NFC East. It's going to be a lot of fun. Groomer's take.